Machu Picchu, re-examining an Andean enigma perched on a razorback ridge nearly 2,450 m above sea level, Machu Picchu commands one of the most spellbinding vistas on Earth. Its polished granite walls, knife-edge staircases, and sweeping agricultural terraces cascade down jungle-draped slopes toward the Urubamba River, hundreds of meters below. Because the Spanish never found this mountaintop retreat, the stonework was spared the destruction suffered by many Inca settlements. After the city was abandoned and the forest crept back for several centuries, American explorer Hiram Bingham was led to the ruins in 1911, propelling Machu Picchu to international fame. Today more than 1 million visitors a year thread their way through its passages, selfie sticks in hand, drawn by the promise of spectacular scenery and a brush with antiquity. A setting that defies clichés. Contrary to popular belief, Machu Picchu is not one of the highest sites in the Sacred Valley. It lies roughly 1,000 m below the city of Cusco and well beneath many other high Andean complexes. Its relatively moderate altitude allows a luxuriant cloud forest ecology, giving the site much of its lush, tropical atmosphere and offering travelers a welcome respite from altitude sickness. 3 architectural languages. A walk through the ruins reveals more than postcard-perfect vistas. It exposes 3 distinct construction styles, first systematized by architect Jesus Gamarra, Hanan Pasha the oldest, carved directly into living bedrock or assembled from immense, smoothly contoured blocks. Uran Pasha the classic cellular polygonal masonry, huge granite stones dressed and fitted so precisely that a knife blade will not enter the joints. Akun Pasha, Inca, far cruder fieldstone walls, often set in mud mortar, forming the bulk of the site's domestic quarters. The megalithic Hanan and Uran Pasha elements are concentrated in the royal sector, the Temple of the Three Windows, the principal temple, and the famous Intihuatana platform, while the surrounding houses, storerooms, and terraces employ unmistakably Inca workmanship. The disparity raises a simple question: were the Inca the first architects here, or did they inherit and reuse a much older nucleus? From jungle to headlines, Bingham's own photographs show entire buildings smothered by vines and giant trees that had taken root atop gable walls. For 3 weeks his crew carved switchbacks up the near vertical hillside, rebuilt a vine and log river bridge, and hacked away vegetation before they could even photograph or measure the ruins. Bingham was convinced he had found a city of refuge, estimating its construction to have required many generations if not centuries of effort despite the builders' lack of iron tools. Piecing together a murky chronology, modern guidebooks typically date Machu Picchu to c. 1450–1470, crediting Pasha Kutek, the first expansionist Inca emperor. The sole hard evidence for that tidy time frame, however, is ceramic. Potsherds match imperial period Cusco wares, and no earlier pottery styles have been recovered in quantity. Ceramics can prove when the Inca occupied the site, they cannot prove when its finely cut core was built. What do the Inca themselves say? Early Spanish chroniclers recorded an origin legend in which an unnamed megalithic people raised vast stone fortresses such as Sacsayhuaman and Ollantaytambo, only to be driven into remote canyons by barbarian invaders. After centuries, their descendants, led by 3 brothers emerging from 3 windows at Tomputaco, slowly migrated to Cusco and became the Inca. If this tradition contains even a kernel of truth, Machu Picchu's foundation could predate the Inca by millennia. Transporting the impossible across the Sacred Valley, tens of ton granite blocks were dragged from high quarries, ferried across torrent rivers and hoisted up sheer slopes. Bingham himself needed days merely to push 30 kg crates up rough ladders, highlighting the logistical gulf between documented Inca capabilities and the feats implied by the oldest masonry. Researcher Brian Foster points out that the Inca almost never dismantled these cyclopean structures, they merely patched gaps with field stones or recycled fallen megaliths as lintels and door jambs, suggesting deep respect for a predecessor culture. A case for deeper time in the past 2 decades. Disciplines far afield from archaeology, paleoclimatology, genetics, even astrochronology have transformed our view of human antiquity. Evidence for a catastrophic Younger Dryas climate swing c. 12,800 BP, along with DNA studies showing unexpected transoceanic contacts, render the possibility of a forgotten, technically adept civilization less far-fetched than it once seemed. Within this new scientific landscape, the oral histories Bingham transcribed demand renewed attention. Moving from certainty to curiosity, none of this disproves Inca craftsmanship. Their agricultural terraces, admirable stone huts and ingenious water channels are integral to Machu Picchu's charm. Yet the polished core of the sanctuary, its seamless joints and monumental forms, may not share the same birth certificate. The prudent conclusion is not a verdict but a question: how old is Machu Picchu, really, and who first quarried its giants? Until multidisciplinary research, geology, archaeoastronomy, advanced dating of quarry scars fills the evidentiary gap. The site will remain what it has always been, an enigma in the clouds, inviting us to wonder. Leonard James Promotions.